Welcome everyone to the video, and today we are talking about the patch notes, the new news for the game, the update. We are going to have the new event, Assault on Rook's Rest, and it's going to introduce a new concept, back rank enemies. High HP units that never advance. In this event, the world is filled by scorpions that are aimed at your assisting dragon Vhagar. While the scorpions keep Vhagar at bay, you must find a way to defeat them to allow Vhagar to bring massive damage to the battle. So, this might be a different strategy than the speed strategy, or it may not. It might still be speed. We don't know. But this is a new concept, high HP units that never advance. We'll see what happens with that. That's the first new update. The second is there going to be a new dragon in Legendary Assault for your alliance, Icy Viserion. And he is going to assault with ice and fire and brush off debuffs. So this dragon might actually not be good with the ice team. The ice team might not be good with them because he might shrug off brittle and ice. So we'll see what happens with this dragon. Yeah, we'll see what happens. That one's coming out. Then Ygritte is going to be the PvP season end reward from December 9th to February 3rd. King's Road is going to have goals for Legendary Assault. So they want people to be in alliances to get some of those rewards. So that is going to be there. There's going to be more silver and iron trials that should help the starter players. Then we have two new legendary fighters coming into the legendary characters coming into the game. We have Aegon II coming in, and he's going to be a support and also be a good attacker. His skill is slow, and he's going to gain 5 to 10% attack buff per birthright on him. He then strikes an enemy for 125% to 175% attack fire damage. That seems very powerful. And then his passive, he begins combat with 8 to 10 birthright. They're going to lose a birthright per turn, but anytime he loses birthright, all allies gain 8 to 12% stamina. Now it says all allies, not all greens. So he might be able to pump up other people on your team, even if they're not greens. We'll see if there's a synergy going on or what can be done with this, but he's going to grant allies stamina, which might be nice. His leadership ability, when he reaches 50% and 25% HP, he's going to grant all allies 3 birthright. So he's going to be a good support in the longer the fight goes on. He's going to give more birthright in there. Then we've got the legendary dragon, Sunfire, and he has a very slow speed move. First of all, we're going to see if this is a legendary dragon. Now, dragons are not allowed in raids. We'll see if this green team is going to be allowed in raids because this is a dragon. So maybe they're changing it, maybe not. Maybe it's just an event team. We will find out. Anyway, he has a very slow speed move. Sunfire deals 50 to 70% attack damage and reduces their fire resistance by 2 to 5% for 3 turns to a random target. This attack repeats for each birthright on Sunfire. So he's going to constantly do damage to random targets. And this might be super potent, especially if you're going to give stamina early on. Wow. His passive begins combat with 8 to 10 birthright and 75% stamina. Anytime after the first turn, Sunfire gains birthright, he gains 15 to 20% stamina. Wow. So he's probably going to be able to do that attack many times if you could get enough birthright on him. So that's going to be good. 75% stamina to start, and then he's going to gain, oh my goodness. Anytime he gains, ooh, that's going to be nasty. That's going to be nasty. Championship tuning. They're changing things with the green faction. The first buff for the green faction. Birthright damage amplification. It's going to go from 1% to 3%. So that is a huge boost right there on the birthright damage. They are going to change the faction bonus, and they are going to lower the birthright effectiveness, which they should, because they're increasing the birthright damage. So that is going to go down. And it's going to make them very hard hitting. So then they're going to change Amond. His initial hit is going to do 15% to 25% damage versus 10 to 43. The bonus per birthright, that goes up a little bit, 35% to 60%. His passive, critical strike birthright grant, 6 to 7 to allied greens. It's going to change to 3 to 5 to himself. And they removed the 10% attack buff granted to allies for 3 turns. Okay, and then the first 3 enemies defeated and fall below 50%, birthright grant is going to go down a little bit. I see why they're nerfing that a little bit because of the increase in the amplification of damage. Then auto is going to be changed. His skill is going to go from normal to slow, and the defense debuff per birthright has gone down. The number of debuff turns has gone down. And the AoE damage is almost the same on an average scale. And for the passive, the stamina granted to all allies instead of just greens. So he's going to grant stamina to all allies. This is going to be more stabilized, so the ally stamina gain per birthright is going to be 5 to 7%. That used to be 2 to 12%. So on an average, it's more stabilized. Then the start of combat ally stamina grant has gone down from 20 to 25% to 15% chance. And the start of combat ally defense debuff is going from 20% for 6 turns to 15% to 0% for 10 turns. So it's going to be more turns the defensive debuff. Allison now gets buffed. They did change her stamina speed from normal to slow, but her birthright grant, she's going to give it to all allies, not just greens. And her heal has gotten boosted quite a bit from 5 to 7%. Actually, has it? Oh, it's changed from max HP to 15 to 25% attack. Okay, so it's just changed, but okay, we'll see that. The passive, ally critical strike stamina grant, 30 to 35%, down to 20 to 25%. Ally critical birthright grant down to 3, and below 20% HP trigger restriction has been removed. So overall, they buffed the birthright damage, but they changed some of the other skills. The 2 new characters look very good. Amond the Second and Sunfire seem very good. So I think the whole green faction as a whole is going to be even stronger. I think they had to nerf the other 3 characters because of how strong they're going to be. I mean, Sunfire just seems insane. He's going to be doing crazy amounts of damage. And Aegon is going to give a lot of stamina. Just a lot of stamina. So I think he's going to be nasty. Also, the mysterious Green Seer has been nerfed to the ground. The skill is now a slow speed move from normal, and instead of spawning 4 to 7 foresight gems, it's only going to spawn 1 foresight gem with a chance to spawn 1 bonus gem. So from 4 to 7 to a potential of 2. Yeah, the stamina is almost the same, but nerfed. So, sorry, Dr. Death, your character that you like so much, she has been nerfed to the ground. You can find her in the Ygritte summon. She's an epic champion. And the Exiled Crossbowman, we'll skip him. He's not that important. So, they are going to fix Roos's passive from occasionally removing more buffs than intended. They're going to fix the leaderboards, so we're going to be able to see the top 100 teams and champions. It says after the end of an event. It doesn't say during, it says after the end of the event. Okay, so we'll be able to see the top teams. We're also, looks like they're going to fix Stannis's bug. It says, fixed in issues where some enemies were not fading in and out consistently when spawning or defeated. I do believe that is the invisible enemy glitch when you're using Stannis and nobody is left on the board and you have to waste a turn to get to the next wave. So I think they're going to fix that. Let's see what else. They're also going to show people about partial shards in summoning to indicate that there are more needed to unlock a champion. I guess a lot of people thought that when they get a character, even if it's like 3 shards, they're automatically unlock them. So they want to clarify that. And they're going to be monitoring some champions removing extra buffs and debuffs with their abilities, and they're going to correct that. So overall, 2 pretty strong characters coming into the game. They did nerf some of the abilities of the greens that are existing, but the birthright damage amplification is 3 times stronger. So that might be interesting. And it seems like they're going to be very strong. And I'm curious how this new event is going to be with back rank enemies, high HP units that never advance. So we'll see how this plays out. Maybe Baelish and the Shield team could come in to save the day for me. We'll see. We're going to find out soon enough with this event. Comment below. Let me know what you think of some of these changes. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Take care.